Hello and welcome to Criminal Justice in a Nutshell. I'm John Fisher, and in today's episode of Criminal Justice in a Nutshell, we're going to be talking about classical criminology. I'm here in the fireplace room of the Student Union building here on the Howard College campus, and want to talk to you about Cesar Beccaria and Jeremy Bentham. Classical criminology was established or come about with, or started with, a book written by Cesar Beccaria in 1764 called On Crimes and Punishment. It's translated into English. It's about 100 pages long, and you can find a copy of it in the library of Howard College. And it delves into and it changes the entire thought process of what we thought crime and criminology was about. In 1764 is the birth of criminology as a study within itself, and the father of criminology is none other than Cesar Beccaria. You're going to find some texts and some authors telling you that it's Cesar Lombroso, or it is Edwin Sutherland, or it is me. Well, no, you won't find anybody saying it's me. But you'll find a lot of argument, a lot of disagreement on who is actually the father of criminology. And we'll talk about Cesar Lombroso's claim, or the claim that Cesar Lombroso has, when we talk about the positivist movement. But for right now, we want to talk about the birth of the study of criminology and the study of crime and the theory of crime. Prior to 1764, the world as a whole, or the Western world, the European world and the American world, believed that crime and deviance was associated with sin. And therefore, because we were all created in the image of God, we were unable to sin unless we were somehow in league with the devil, possessed by demons, or we were involved in witchcraft or sorcery of some sort, and all of these things that you find within the pre-advanced, pre-scientific societies, in those societies that Auguste Comte called primitive, because of their belief systems in things such as this. Cesar Beccaria came about, and then later Jeremy Bentham came about and brought us rational choice theory. Rational choice theory, as described by Cesar Beccaria, is a theory that we as individuals have the free will to make rational choices and rational decisions on how we want to approach life and the decisions for the actions that we take within life. We will, what Jeremy Bentham coined as the hedonistic calculus. What we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a little scale here. And on the one side, we're going to put the pleasure from an action. We're going to take any specific action, and we're going to put or measure the amount of pleasure, the reward, the benefits of making any particular action. And then we're going to weigh it against the risks and the punishments and things to that nature. The textbook talks and spends a lot of time and refers to voyeurism as the example that they use, because voyeurism is one of those, what do you want to do types of crimes. Voyeurism brings sexual satisfaction. It brings a thrill of not getting caught. Is kind of perverted in my opinion, but there's lots of different pleasures that you can find. And on the negative, what harm is there? If the victim does not ever know that you're watching her or him through a window, do they ever know that they're being violated in that particular way? Okay, if you get caught, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to get arrested and you're going to go to jail and all of these other events that move along. We find that voyeurism, or we found within criminology research, we found that voyeurism is the first step, or the stepping stone to becoming a serial killer, because all crimes and criminality progress. Okay, you start as somebody Googling girls at the mall, and then you find a particular girl and you go follow her home and you watch her through the windows. And then the next step, you progress and you break into her house and you steal clothing items. The next step, you rape her, the next step you kill her, then you go find another victim. Okay, so at each level of this criminal activity, Caesar Beccaria and Jeremy Bentham told us that you have the rational choice on whether or not you want to take that action and whether or not you want to make that action. Okay. Well, personally, I don't think you'd find me taking any of those actions, because I'm just not willing to pay the price for that offense. Okay, and that's what rational choice is about. It says that we measure the pleasure and the reward versus the punishment and the risk for any given offense or any given action. And we will turn around and say yes or no on whether or not we're going to make and take that action. Okay. Caesar Beccaria also said that all punishment for a crime must be swift, certain, and proportional. Caesar Beccaria and Jeremy Bentham did not believe in the death penalty because they believed that every individual should have the opportunity to restore order, to make society, bring it back to where it was before the offense ever took place. And if you execute somebody for committing a crime, they never have a chance for redemption. They never have a chance for penance. They never have a chance to make things right and to restore order back to where it was before they committed this crime. Okay, so they've brought about, or they also introduced to us, the deterrence theory. It goes hand in hand with the rational choice theory. And that if punishment is swift, is certain, and it is proportional to whatever offense was taken, that would deter people from committing those particular crimes. Because they'd sit there when they're a little scale and they'd say, well, this punishment, this harm, this risk is too much for the pleasure that I'm going to have in the 5, 10, 15 minutes or however long it's going to take me to receive or achieve sexual gratification by watching somebody through the window. Okay, so there's two types of deterrence. The first is general deterrence, and this is a crime to where we punish an individual with hopes that it will prevent the rest of the greater society from committing a crime. Okay, so a speeding ticket. The speeding ticket for driving in a construction zone is the fines are doubled for if you are caught speeding. Okay, well, this is an attempt or a thought to ensure that the entire community doesn't speed and doesn't exceed the speed limit. Okay, the other type of deterrence is specific deterrence. And here in Big Spring, we've got this motion that's going on right now, and the second reading of this motion is going to be on June 9th. But what this motion says is that if you're caught driving a vehicle throughout the city of Big Spring without insurance, the city of Big Spring can impound and take your car. This is specific deterrence. This is an attempt to specifically punish an individual in hopes that it would deter them from violating and committing a crime. So if you know that if I catch you driving the streets of Big Spring without insurance, I'm going to take your car. This is going to do one of two things. It's going to make you go get insurance, or you're not going to drive. You know, that's the rational choice theory that you have. On the other hand, you can say, you know what? The Big Spring Police Department is not a very good police department. They'll never, ever catch me driving without insurance, so I'm just going to drive anyway. These are choices that you can make. These are choices that you can make as a rational person with free will. Okay. Caesar Beccaria and Jeremy Bentham brought us out of the Dark Ages, brought us out of the belief in demon possession and Satan forcing us to do things against our will, and brought us into the age of enlightenment to where we commit those offenses which we choose freely and without any force to commit. I do want to thank you for joining us in Criminal Justice in a Nutshell. I'm John Fisher. Have a good day.